Hey, everybody, we're live. Welcome to our mastermind for Thursday, the 25th of March, 2021. John Lavenia here with you on a Thursday. That's right. What's happening? I'll tell you what's happening. Our good friend and co-facilitator, Mr. Jamie Young, has secured some advantages in his professional life, which is causing travel and scheduling conflicts and such. So he is suspending his participation as a facilitator for now. And we suspect he will be back just as soon as he is able. So you guys are stuck with me. Sorry to say. Actually, every other Thursday, we have Mr. Mark. Mark, why don't you come out here for just a couple minutes here? We haven't seen
Sure.
you
I
since
know.
like the jury duty deal. How's that going?
Sorry, man. I'm so happy to be back. I'm just sorry, man. It was just that was a really interesting couple weeks.
Hmm.
I'm good to go. Just
Yeah.
and I'm
Are you
back.
done?
But yeah. Well, what happened was somebody the very first day that we checked in a week ago from last Thursday came and they had COVID and they exposed everybody. So we had gone in for questioning, had a day off, gone in for questioning. I think they were trying to beat it around to figure out who it was, and then finally I got a call and said, "Hey, everybody needs to quarantine." Somebody, so it was kind of after the fact. So I ended up not having to stand jury duty, but that whole week, and then I ended up getting a thing called. Well, they suspect that what I have is a thing called COVID toe. I never even heard of it. I laughed when I
Wow.
first heard that. So, but I'm recovering. I'm starting to walk regular again. It's no problem. I didn't have any symptoms, and I'm thinking, okay, that was a test. That's just one of those things you go through in life, and you can either let it, move you into, the dark ages, or you can move through it. And like we always like to say, we use these things as opportunities and view them that way and move forward and stay positive and stay focused and don't give up the ship, so to speak. We keep plugging forward. We stay consistent. We don't give up. Yeah, I looked at it kind of as a long valley, but there are peaks on both sides. So I'm climbing the
Hmm.
hill again. I'm back out, and I'll keep pressing forward. And I'm glad to be back in here.
Very nice.
Man,
So we could
I
expect
didn't.
to have you tonight on global and technical marketing.
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic,
I will be
everyone.
there.
We have been waiting for one of those sessions, man. We
Yeah.
want Mark.
Sorry. So
No, very good,
I'll be
very
coming
good,
back.
and thank you for doing your duty as a fellow American. And I guess at this point you're grateful that you're not on a case, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking to you right now. But um,
Yeah.
there, yeah, there's
And it
that.
was a hit and run case. So where the person that it hit was killed. So
Oh wow.
Um, I couldn't talk about it, but now that it's on and it's out in the you know out in the ether here,
Okay.
that's so there were some pretty interesting questions. It's good to do that. I recommend if that comes along, instead of trying to find ways around it, maybe once in a while, it's worth our as citizens, maybe to like we do here, John, every single day, in this environment with a success mastermind, it's the repetition is, and once
Mhm.
in a while, we need to reiterate to ourselves why this was good for me, because it helped me kind of reinvigorate myself and reestablish where I was at in my thinking and things, because you kind of get to that point where you don't see the forest through the trees, and I was kind of going in that direction. It happens to all of us. Uh, I'm not perfect, so
Mhm.
this was a good kind of reset for me as well,
Awesome.
and it helped. So and all going through that, even though I'm not sitting there as one of the jurists now, that whole initial process and all the questions and what those guys do, it kind of establishes why we. It made me feel comfortable that there's a system of of jurisprudence that we go through on purpose, and I even made comment to this to one of the I think to the prosecutor when he asked me. I said, "Look, if it were me in that hot seat right now, I'd want to make sure that I'm being given the best and most unbiased and non-discriminatory approach and rigorous, dealing by 12 of my peers as anyone. So
Mm-hmm.
it was good for me to go through that too. It was just good for me to have and I had done that kind of stuff before as a convening authority and a summary courts marshal, and done all that into my time as an officer in the Marine Corps, and I had kind of forgotten some of that.
Okay.
So anyway,
So it's an
thanks
interesting
for letting me
question to
gab.
ask. You bring up a couple of interesting points, which I think we'll take up here, because I think we all deserve to hit the reset button from time to time, metaphorically speaking. And the other thing that came up for me as you were just talking was the idea of what you would want. In other words, like a golden rule kind of a condition, right? So do unto others and all this. So you would want to be treated fairly, right? You would want actual, justice, actual, ethics and all this. So I would say that if we all look at where we're at in our life, in our business, and what we're doing right now. I was just looking at it myself. In fact, I think that's glaringly obvious, right? I mean, we just launched this for everyone who's participating here, and even for those who aren't, members of our group that are welcome in. We have the this book workshop going on right now. I'm seeing some thumbs up. Thank you. Yeah, this is, I think, an opportunity for us, and in this case, in particular, me, to do something that I have mostly failed to do throughout, let's say, my career. I'm going to give you some of my reality here, and you can do what you like with it, see how it works for you. But one of the things that I've noticed is that, like we were talking about last night, the idea of really deciding, what I want, right? So what's the ideal scene? What's the outcome that's very specific, by the way? Okay, how specific am I about that? And I've gotten to the point several times in my life where I've wanted to just kind of hit the reset button. We talked about this when we reviewed Stephen Covey's work, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, deciding on my goals and my roles. Like, what's my role in all this? I've got several roles in my life: father, right, husband, etc. And when I'm vague about that, not necessarily about the role, but the goal of each role, okay, when I'm vague about that, I get to demonstrate vagueness, and that shows up as indecision, which does what? Slows me down, right? Indecision, slow, non-doingness, inaction, procrastination, rationalization, work avoidance. I had a conversation with one of the sales directors in this consultancy group that I do work with. And we were talking about, the offer that I'm working with, and then they have this other one they just launched. And he told me something that just happened recently, that they wound up launching this program. I can't give you all the details, but it has to do with becoming a published author on Amazon, Kindle, and all this, right? And the main thrust of the offer was that they're going to do it for you. So done for you. That's nice. I suppose, if you're into, like, work avoidance and stuff, which a lot of people are. And the price tag was 5 figures. And I was thinking, hold on a second. I've published a book, Amazon, and it cost me nothing to publish it, by the way. You just show up and do it. And yet, right, the whole idea of the attraction of putting yourself out there, of deciding, hey, I'm going to be an author, right? And I don't know what to do. You know what? I'm going to pay you guys to go figure out what to do, right? Do it for me, do it with me, that coaching, that guidance. And I will pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get myself out there as an author. I don't even know if people are going to write their own books, right? I know anyone who's read Integrity is Everything, every word of that was John Lavenia. Like, nobody else touched that book. I even edited the whole damn thing myself, which may have been a mistake, but whatever. People tend to like the book. It took me a week to spit it out, and then a year to edit it, to put it into like a book form, because it was just a bunch of paragraphs and thoughts and ideas just in a pile. I transcribed what I said into the recorder. Then I had this pile of papers, and then I had to, like, kind of arrange them into chapters. And so anyway, there's the book. Enjoy it. But the idea that people are so interested in participating and putting themselves out there into the marketplace. This is the thing that I have I will say, been lackluster in my efforts. And you may be looking and say, well, John, you already are a published author. You already are. I mean, you run a mastermind group. You've got all these businesses and you're doing it. You're doing it. But hold on a second here. Back to my original point. To what end? To what end am I doing it? I had this conversation with a colleague of mine yesterday. So I've got all these conversations. You see, what we talk about here is stuff that's real time, like real life, usable, hopefully usable for you, stuff that I'm dealing with, that I think we're dealing with, unless I'm like unique, like I'm a Martian or something and no one can relate to me. Probably not, since you're here, right? But I was talking to a colleague and who's also brilliant salesperson, great guy, really like this guy. I'm probably old enough to be his father, but definitely, like, he's got his act together. He's competent. I like competent people. And I was asking him an interesting question. Is there one thing I could help you get in your life? Like, is there one thing that if I could help you do it, you would want to do it? And he's like, I don't know how to answer that. And I thought that was interesting. So here's a competent person who's yes, working, right? Not practicing work avoidance, but putting himself out there, doing something, doing good work. And yet my question to him basically was, what's it all for? Right? What's it all mean? Okay. So it's like this is it. This is the entire fruitage of the experience, is that you get to go do what you're doing now. And he started thinking about it. He's like, no, I want to, and he started telling me about some of his ambitions, but they were like far off, maybe sometime in the future kind of thing. And so the conversation evolved into, so why do we do what we do? You, me, everyone here. Why do we do what we do? Is it for just out of expedience, right? I mean, right now I can go and make money and survive and do these things that I do because I know how to do them, and that's expedient. I don't have a long learning curve. But what about expansion? That's not always expedient, is it? Right? I mean, learning new stuff. Right now with our book study, our workshop, right? We've got people and lights are turning on. They're like, oh my goodness, right? I've been barking up the wrong tree, maybe my whole life, right? So that's a reset opportunity. The things that we do when we discuss, philosophy and how life works and like, what do you want? Which is a question that came up last night in our workshop, right? What do you want? Profound question. Do you have an answer? Most people don't, or it's vague, right? And vague, you get to go slow, you get to be indecisive, right? And so I looked at myself, right? Anytime we point the finger, three more point back, right? So, okay, John, what do you want? And, well, I'm doing okay right now, but good is the enemy of great, right? Ouch. So maybe it's time for me to hit the reset button. And so I was looking at, all right, what do we do? What are we doing here? Like, for example, right here with our mastermind group, which I fully intend to continue and expand and bring more value, exchange in abundance, right, with the marketplace. Do like Wiles was talking about in that book, right? Use value, right? You put $10. Here's $100 worth of value. That's my intent, and I think all of us, because like Mark, right, we're moral people. We're probably not, killing people and then fleeing the scene, right? That's probably not who we are, right, as this group. And each person as an individual, right? You've got to assess your own ethics, right? But assuming that you feel like what you do is good and right, then I think the question is, well, to what end? How far are we willing to take this? Back to the idea of putting ourselves out there. And these people who are so desperate to publish a book that they're willing to pay $10,000 plus to have somebody do it for them, right? What's the one thing that we haven't done, that we could do? In fact, we could have been doing it for decades. It's a question you can ask yourself. What's the one thing that we could do more of, or do better, or hit the reset button and find out better ways of doing? I can tell you, in my world, it's promotion. And this is look, this is a damaging admission, right? I will tell you right now, I'm really, really good at a couple of things, really good. And then I practice avoidance on other things. And sometimes I've got the brains to go ahead and hire people to do those things, right? Because we can't be all things to all people. And sometimes it's just, I'll get around to it, or I'll do a half-assed version of it, right? I don't want to really have to go through that learning curve. So promotion. What does that mean for you? Now, we've got a lot of people putting products out. And we were just talking to Sandy before we went live here. Sandy's got the goats. Sandy's got surgery coming up next week. Sandy's making preparations so that she can keep the goats and the farm and everything running, the Amazon business, whilst recovering from the surgery, right? So she's thinking ahead. She's making preparations. That's cool. Here's my consideration about it, though. What if we prepared like that all the time? What if we thought ahead? Okay, I'm thinking right now about Janet, for example. Janet. So Janet is looking to publish calligraphy courses and materials, and I was just talking with my secret weapon about this just earlier.
Did we lose him?
I think so.
I think he froze. Uh-oh.
Better take over, man.
And would like to paint, right?
Uh-oh.
And we've got a little bit. Hello.
Hi.
We lost you for a second there, John.
Are we live?
Yes.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard?
Your secret weapon.
Ah, wow. That was a long time ago. That was like an hour ago. I said that. Yeah. So, all right. Back to the drawing board. So I was talking with my secret weapon. Let me make sure that we're still live on YouTube. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit the chat disconnected, successfully connected. Okay. I think we're live again. We are live again. All right. Very good. So I was talking to my secret weapon, Shannon. You guys can still hear me now, right? Yes. No. Yes. Nods. Yes. Okay. Thank you. And we were talking about membership sites. And one of these, did you hear where I was talking about Janet? Did you get to hear that part? Janet? No? Yes? Yes, you did. You did get to hear me talking about Janet. Okay, great. So I know Janet is launching the calligraphy training and the I guess there's the materials, the actual quill or whatever you use. Sorry, Janet, I don't know all the ins and outs of that. It's not my thing. That's your thing, right? Go do that. So but we were talking about membership sites, and one of the ones that Shannon cited as an example was this painting. Like there's this person who's doing a painting membership site for moms and their children, I suppose. And this is like in the age of COVID, right? We want to have recreation with our kids, and so we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint.
Said my name,
right?
yeah.
Okay, very good. Janet, did you have a comment?
Oh, I'm sorry, John. I'm up and downstairs washing, and I heard my name, and you were
that's
talking
right.
about.
Yeah, we're talking about you. That's right. So I'll go ahead and mute your microphone for you.
Yes,
so,
thank you.
Right. So so this person launched this painting membership site, and apparently it's done $1 million already. $1 million. So people pay $50, $100, $1 million, whatever it is, per month to be in the painting experience, and they get to do the painting with the whoever the authority is, the trainer, right? And they bring the kids and they go and they set up the easels and they do the painting. And I was thinking, wow, that's interesting. So I guess the old saying that anything could work, right? Anything will sell if you just promote to the ideal target audience. Here are moms who the kids are stuck at home and they want to paint. Right now, will that business model survive beyond the age of COVID? Well, great question. But the point is that they put it out there, right? They promoted, right? And they had a specific, here's the thing, they had a specific, back to that word, specificity, they had a specific outcome that they were promising to the mom who wants to paint with her kids. And there were enough of those types of people, moms who want to paint with their kids, that it fetched $1 million. And that's not even like a high ticket offer or anything. It's like, like I was talking about before with the, Kindle publishing and whatever, tens of thousands of dollars no, was it $50 or something a month to be in the deal? And how long do people, stay in that sort of a subscription model? Uh, Great question. I guess how much are they getting value from painting? So I was thinking about Janet as it relates to that. So here's someone who, and I don't know, okay, but I'm going to assume, let's go ahead and let's grant that Janet is among the best in the world at calligraphy. Right? Are there other good calligraphers? Of course, right? Uh, but in that case, right, is what's the difference between Janet's soon to exist, hopefully soon to exist, calligraphy membership site, business subscription, product launch, whatever it happens to be, right? And that's up to her. What's the difference between that and the person who already brought in $1 million with the painting for kids, moms and kids, right? What's the difference? Getting the value into the marketplace, promotion, right? Making known the value that you have. Now, we have obviously in the very objective, products oriented space with e-commerce, Amazon, things like this. A lot of that just has to do with things like what Neil and Jane talk about with pay-per-click advertising. Of course, Evelyn is doing our weekly e-commerce work group on that. So we've got ideas that you could execute on that. That doesn't make you the star. That makes the product the star. But it's still promotion on the more personalized stuff, right? So here's John Lavenia, this author guy. Here's the painting lady. Here's Janet with the calligraphy, right? You are the product, essentially. People are buying you. So then the question is, are you putting yourself out there? I got this inspired moment that came up. It's like, holy shit, let's do a book workshop. Let's do that. I mean, my goodness, we're going to study the book anyway, right? Could more people use this conversation? I think so. So we went ahead and created it. This is an idea. But the point is we executed on that. And because I wasn't vague, I'm just using this one experience as an example, because I wasn't vague about what that outcome would be. I had certainty about that outcome. The outcome would be that we turn some light switches on for people and they can go and win in life, right? More fully and more fervently, right? More definitely, but with more certainty. There's that word, the certain way, right? That we can have that certain way occurring in more people's lives, which, by the way, that benefits me, not just as, the purveyor of, a mastermind group or something, but as someone who has to live on this planet with these people. You guys get that, right? Like your success benefits me. Thank you. I got to live with you, right? So I can't get off of this rock. I haven't figured that one out, right? I think Ace has. He's floating out there in the universe. But but the idea that you can't really give anything away, it always comes back. What stops us from promoting? If we've been stopped or stalled or slow or vague or indecisive, what causes that? It's not knowing where we're going. It's indefiniteness of purpose, indefiniteness of decision. So then the question is, I'll ask you all, just like I asked my other sales guy friend yesterday, and like I asked everyone in the workshop last night, what do you want? What do you want? That's the whole question. And do you have an answer, right? In the workbook that I'm giving out, I'm doling out, a quarter of it at a time, right? There's questions. So now we read the book, we had our discussion. Now do a couple of exercises. No enormous, profound. You're not writing a book yourself, although I suppose you could. But just answer these questions. They're introspective questions. They're application and implementation ideas, right? They're things to help make the teaching, right, from the book, to make that more real in your life, to validate and put into use, and not practice avoidance, but to put into use these ideas, these philosophies, so that it can bear fruit, right, in your life. So maybe go through that, right? That's not just for like our guests that showed up last night, right? That's for everyone, including myself, right? We teach that which we most need to learn. So let me go ahead and let me hit the reset button here. What do I want? Great question. And I'm coming up with answers to that. Because look, I've been vague at times too. Like I already said, good is the enemy of great. right? Why is this this painting membership, painting with the kids, right? Why is that doing $1 million? And what can I do? What can I do that would be of such benefit to people? And I think a lot of times, I'll speak for myself, a lot of times because of, well, the field that I'm in, I think everything has to be the most profound, friggin' amazing breakthrough that the world has ever experienced, right? Like I'm going to go ahead and post something on Facebook. Evelyn knows this. I've told Evelyn. And so if I dare take pen to paper, virtually, right? If I dare do that, it's got to be a profundity that just like, holy crap. I mean, this is John the author's talking now, right? But no, a lot of times I think we can psych ourselves out by comparing our insides to other people's outsides, by comparing the ideal, whatever that is, right, to where we're at right now in present time. There is, I've got plenty of examples of this where I've poured my heart out into like an email campaign, right? I'm writing this email and I'm telling the story, and oh my goodness, it's blood and guts, right? It's like real serious stuff, and it falls on deaf ears. And then, you know what? I'm running out the door. I got to get an email out right now. Let me just throw some crap on the thing and click send. And it's like gangbusters, right? Oh, holy crap. Everybody loves it. Everybody's clicking on it. And so I'm like, So how much do I have to actually, micromanage or control the process? The point is, as we've talked about, in fact, I think we ended last week, or maybe we started this week on this idea. The point is to publish, to put yourself out there, whether it's that product, right? Get the photos taken, right? I know Wayne can help you with that. I was talking to Wayne the other night. Wayne Bradford, who runs our Metaphors for Success, very insightful guy, great photographer as well, right? So put the photos, get the copy written. We've got a copywriter in our midst here. If you go into our recorded section, special events, you can get discount rates on professional copywriting. What else? Or do it yourself, right? Does it have to be perfect? No. Can you tweak it later? Yes. Imperfect and done beats perfect and not done. Put it out. Publish. Same thing with, I'm looking at Mark, right? So we were just talking to Mark. He just got done with his jury duty. Mark's coming out tonight with his global and tactical marketing, right? He's going to talk about some stuff. I don't know what stuff, okay, but it's going to be things that relate to, global market conditions and considerations that you probably should have your attention on if you're intending to do business. We're going to have gentle yoga and relaxation today with Nancy. Nancy shows up every week and does this. And it's a little bit different every time, right? The point is that it's out there. And has Nancy become a more effective yoga trainer? I will tell you that anytime that I have to get on live with Nancy, I am blown away by her ability to not only do the yoga postures and such, but also to see my errors out of the corner of her eye while she's doing the postures herself. Like, oh my goodness. What is that? That's competence. What could Nancy do? Okay, so she volunteers her time here for all of us clowns, right? That show up and, try and do some yoga. Okay. But now Nancy's furthering herself into, more of that, the commercial, the professional offering of that. And it may be through a membership site. It may be through, I don't know, it's whatever she wants to do, but it's in order to yes, bless the world with the competencies, the gifts, the aptitudes that she has that would benefit so many more people. My point for all this is to decide who you are and then go be that unapologetically. We're in a culture right now in present time, which tends to invalidate the individual or anyone who tends to reach above status quo or normalcy or whatever. In Australia, they call it the tall poppy syndrome, because of that competitive mindset, which we also talked about last night with Wallace Waddles, right? The idea that if I get more, you get less, right? We've got to eradicate that whole thing from our mind. The whole idea of competition or limited supply or envy, right? Again, comparing us to what others have done with some sort of a judgment about that. Can we just get objective for a minute? And can we just say, look, you've got a tall building. I could build a tall building too. Let's go build some buildings, right? There's as much pie. Let's make some more pie, right? Unlimited supply. It's that sort of mindset, which I think we can only apply, we can only really make use of when we know to what end. To what end? Why are we building that tall building? Why are we making more pie? Decide, right? So it's about that decision. And then, to be able to reach, like what we're doing here with the book workshop. Yeah, I'm going to do this anyway, right? And it's going to be awesome. And I know it's going to be awesome. And if you don't think it's awesome, there's something wrong with you, because this is awesome. I think, right? So it's that sort of almost flippancy because of the certainty. With the certainty comes a bit of flippancy or non-attachment. We talk about the certain way, right? The certain way. When we're certain, are we really attached to all the drama that leads up to the guaranteed future outcome, which we know we're going to get? Yeah, whatever, right? It's drama. I know I've given you a lot here today, but I had to fill some big shoes because Jamie has been indisposed elsewhere, right? So I'm thinking I got to give you some good meat here today. My request of you is to see how this works in your life, and if nothing else, just take 5 minutes, 5 hours, whatever it takes, okay? But today, meaning today, take pen to paper and write down what you want, and use as much specificity and emotionally descriptive words as you can. I feel so happy, grateful, and confident now that I have accomplished this. And here's why it matters, right? It's not just the money. It's so now I've got these options, I've got these freedoms, I've got these abilities to have that experience, right, of whatever that ideal scene is. Write that out. One of my first mentors, Bob Proctor, told me to do that every day. I haven't. That's interesting, right? I mean, it is as easy as it is to do the right thing. It's even easier to just not do it. So I'm going to ask you to do one thing that will help you clarify where you're going. Like, why are you showing up in life, not just here in this conversation? Where are you going? And what are you going to exchange with the marketplace, with your fellow man, to lift them up and thereby gain not only the attention, right? Because, outflow and inflow, those who outflow, inflow, right? So you're putting yourself out there for a reason, and you know what that reason is. So not just to exchange attention, but also to exchange value for money. We're talking about the science of getting rich. And everywhere I look, the principles, the laws, right, that are promulgated by Wallace Wattles in that book, they keep showing up in my life. And I can practice avoidance. I can do that. I've done plenty of that. What if I hit the reset button and just lived it, right? It might be a different John that shows up. That might be scary, right? Sometimes people are scared about, well, what if I actually succeed? What if I actually get rich? What would happen? Would I still have these friends? Would I still have, my identity? I mean, I identify as this person who wants to get rich. What if I no longer identified as that? What would become of me? Fear of success is an actuality. So take a look, see what you come up with. All I know is that you're beautiful people, and in contrast to some of the wacky stuff that, like what Mark got to witness when he was in that courtroom, and seeing like some of the insane shit that people do in their life, and somehow think it's okay and justify it. You know what? I'll vote for you guys. I don't think there's any extreme unethical stuff going on, with this group. Could you imagine someone with like a criminal mind, right? Who's just, their main intent is how to ruin people or something, and how to take people, like, again, what Waddles was talking about, like with the use value example with the Eskimo and the furs and everything. Can you imagine that person showing up every day in a conversation like this? The amount of introversion that would cause, right? Oh man. Unless they were total sociopaths, right? They don't even know that there's a difference between right and wrong. Couldn't give a damn about your suffering, right? Again, I don't think those people show up in this conversation. So I honor you. Please, you honor you by making you known, and your products and your benefits, making that known in the marketplace. And I'm happy to help you do that. Tomorrow, just so you know, is Fun Friday. By the way, I think we're a week out from Easter. Is that right? Easter is next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. So get excited. I know my daughter's excited. We're going to be doing Easter egg coloring with the neighborhood children and egg hunts and all that. But we're not going to have Ego on tomorrow morning for me, like 4 o'clock in the morning. She's got a procedure or something. But we are going to have Fun Friday. And my request is that we do hats tomorrow. Hats. So consider that. Wacky hats. I might show up. I'm not going to tell you. I'll show up. You'll see how I show up. But I think tomorrow's hat day. I've been talking 35 minutes, including the technical problem we had. Our lines are open. Do you guys have any ideas about this? Like, what do you want? And are you reaching to get it? Like, are you putting yourself out there? Please come on down. Let's have a quick conversation about this. And hopefully I made some sense today. Who would like to speak? Let's get somebody out here. Here comes Nicola. How you doing, Nicola?
Hello, good. Sorry, I haven't got my screen on. My temporary tooth has snapped, so I'm missing a front tooth. I didn't think you'd want to see that. So.
Is that painful?
No, it was just a plate, but it's the tooth snapped off the plate, so I've got a bit of a gap in the front of my mouth. It doesn't look very.
Yeah, not a glamour shot moment.
No, definitely
right.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, lots coming up listening to you talk today, and quite a timely one, so thank you for that. Because I just noticed this morning I put something on a vision board. It was a quote I put on before I had left work last year, so probably, I don't know, 18 months or so ago. And the quote was, "I have been assigned this mountain to show others it can be moved." And I just happened to read it. I don't look at it every morning, but I just happened to read it this morning and thought, I actually feel like I'm a couple of days away from achieving that. Mm-hmm. And I had no idea how I was going to do it. I just knew, and that, you've heard me talk about some of my own health challenges over the years. And through all of that, I've really got to understand the power of your mindset and thoughts and become really conscious of what you put on up there. And I kind of just, that was it. It was as vague as that 18 months ago as to how I could use what I've been through to help others. And the second point you mentioned earlier, you were talking about Nancy doing the yoga classes. It's similar with me with meditation. That was just an idea I had. I've never done group meditations ever, but we spoke and I agreed to start giving it a try. And I was just looking back in the library yesterday, and there was like 40 odd recorded meditations in there. And I just thought, wow, consistency is key to that. Because if I hadn't have kind of put myself out there and consistently done that for the past 6 months, I wouldn't have the self-confidence and belief that I have now to be launching the course, and I'm about to launch on Monday. So that's kind of led me to, over the past couple of weeks, to just think, like you said, it's not going to be perfect, doesn't need to be perfect, but just do it, just get it out there. And I have no idea what I'm doing, if I'm honest with you, but I've hired someone on Fiverr to set up Kartra for us. There's a funnel going on, there's an ebook, someone's done some proofreading for me. I've just borrowed a microphone and recorded all of the 21-day sessions, the audio, completely new territory, no idea what I'm doing, but it just feels right. So I'm just going to put myself out there. And I think I've so far got about 5 signups, but one guy stuck in mind. And when I wrote the content to put out there, it was quite personal. And he sent me a message straight away just saying, you basically described what goes on in my head. Like, this is amazing. And just even knowing it can touch that one person's life in the way that I intended kind of 18 months ago, it's just such a rewarding feeling to get to that point. I know, and I don't know where this will go in the future, but I don't think I need to know either. I think I keep doing what I'm doing consistently. I know I'm on the right path, and I know it will be of service to somebody. So yeah, sorry, that's quite a bit of a brain dump of just everything that's been going through my mind today. So it just helped to kind of clarify a lot of that. So thank you.
Thank you, Nicola. I honor you, and I'm grateful for you, and it's a nice validation when you connect with someone like this I guess a client, right? Someone who's going to participate in your membership, right? And they're like, yeah, you really spoke to me. As people, you and I, as people who tend to put ourselves out there in a more personal way than someone who doesn't, right? Obviously, then it's validating for us to know that we've had that effect, right? That we've been able to reach someone, and that we've been able to perhaps turn something on for them that was always there. It's not like I was their guru or something, but that just that to reignite that whether it's a zest for life or that certainty, right? Which is why we do like the book study and things that we do. And in your case, and we're going to bring Elmer out here. Oh, Elmer's here with us. Oh my goodness. Hey, Elmer. But in your case, right, you've found your voice or developed it to the point, right? Because you just went back into our archive, right? So right here in our members site, and you said, oh my goodness, look at all these sessions I've done, right? And at first it was like, oh, how do we get the microphone? Let's make sure we got the sound right. And now it's almost effortless. So for me, that's gratifying for me, because it's like, oh, I had a little hand in that. I created a platform here for Nicola to do what she should be doing, And so look, anyone who, if you've gotten benefit from Nicola's meditation sessions, Nancy, I mentioned Nancy before with the yoga, right? These sessions, what we do here, the book study group, please validate and acknowledge that you've gotten benefit, because what you validate expands, right? So make that known, not just to yourself, but make that known to whoever participated. So like, that's why I ask in the Facebook group, like with this book workshop, and we got a lot of new members, like people who they've never been exposed to this before. My request is, please tell me what's happening here for you, right? And you had some cognition, some light bulb turned on. Say it, right? Do it. And in the case of Nicola, right, she's got a new business she's launching as a result of just participation, right? Was that an accident? No, it's not an accident. And she's not the only one. It's not just Nicola, right? Look at all the advancements we've got going on here in this community. I love you guys. And Nicola, I love you. And I can't wait to see that new tooth. I'm sure it'll be beautiful.
Yeah, me too.
Guess who's here, everybody? Get ready. Just get ready for this guy who's about to speak right now. It's Elmer, ladies and gentlemen. Elmer, how are you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, John. I mean, it's so great to see everyone and hear you speak. I mean, it's been such a long time, and I don't know if everyone knows, I'm already in my 5th week having gone back to my previous company, and which is why it's been such a while since I've been on at this time. And I'm actually working from home and trying to monitor other emails that are coming through. But no, I love what you said today, especially having gone to work and the whole notion of roles and goals. I mean, just the whole notion of what do we expect from ourselves in the roles that we play. And we play so many roles in the course of what we do. And, I sort of had several resettings of, the role that I play, both as coming back to the company and, the fact that people were happy that I was coming back. And, sometimes your reputation precedes you. And to be honest, I was really sort of scared, and I am still sort of scared and stressed sometimes now, because it's been like a year since I've been back in corporate life, and I'm always asking, am I gonna perform the same way that I had previous? And I do feel the pressure, but thankfully I'm working on teams that things have changed, and it's sort of like everyone's taking it day by day, and I sort of have to remind myself of that, because I do feel like, am I performing at the level I had been a year ago? And, that's sort of a scary thought. And then also separately too, now that Hong San and I are both sort of working on a consistent basis, or back at our previous roles. She sort of reminded me too this past weekend about our roles both as, husband and wife and father to Olivia, and then also as business partners. And, the dynamics of that are different in each case. And, she's sort of, pressed the reset button for me in terms of how I approach each of those pieces. And I think the fact that you said we really should remind ourselves about what we want goal wise and literally write it down for the roles that we do play, because it's just a good reset. And, thank you for that reminder, because I definitely need to do that every once in a while. So thank you.
Thank you, Elmer. Have you had the opportunity to at least tune into some of the book study stuff that we've been doing? Two nights?
I definitely need to catch up. Yeah. I mean, I definitely need to take a look at that.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. We got a whole Facebook group for participants, and yeah, any feedback, like I was just asking for, right? So participate to the best of your ability with that. So we record everything, of course. So dig in on that. We got 2 more live sessions coming up, and they're going to be off the hook. Awesome.
Okay, great. So, thank you so much, John.
Yeah, you are welcome. All right. And say hi to Hong San for us.
Will do.
Good times. All right. Anybody else want to come out here and talk about something you're working on, something you'd like to make known? Again, everything we validate expands. You say, like, I didn't know Janet was a calligrapher until she told me about her calligraphy, right? And now we all know, right? Put yourself out there. Anybody else? Anybody working on a project you'd like to make known? Of course, the downside to this then is that now the pressure's on, right? Because now you're holding yourself to account publicly, and you're saying, I am launching this thing, or I want to, or I intend to. Anybody else want to come clean with a secret? No secret businesses allowed. All right. I don't see any other hands. I don't see other mics unmuted. Thank you guys for suffering through with me today. I know you were expecting Jamie. I think he'll be back before too long. Of course, tomorrow. Hold on. I see Evelyn and Therese. See that? Just as I'm about to pull the plug on all this, all the hands go up. Let's go with Evelyn and then Therese.
Hey, John. What I wanted to remind everyone is that I will always post your sessions as far as time permits to remind everyone of the sessions that are happening. And I have started to do this with my own sessions of e-commerce that I thank everyone that has attended. Sometimes I will tag everyone, and I will also thank the speaker at the moment. I'm hosting, but I usually have a guest. So it will be great if you guys would do this to every one of the facilitators, bringing back what John just said, because when he has a moment, he can stop by and read. Not only is great for the facilitator at the moment that have put their time and effort to share something with you guys, but to come and say something and recognize them will be fantastic. And I am not saying that for myself. I'm saying that for every single one of them that spends so much time putting something together for you. So that will be fantastic. With that being said, I have also pinned to the top of the page John's session for the book that you're reading right now on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if people can go there and comment a little more, that will be fantastic. So that was basically what I wanted to say. I also have post schedules for tomorrow for Teresa's session, which is something that I try to do, have everybody, the one for Mark later tonight, the one yoga session for Nancy, everything is there. So if you guys can come in, when you guys make a comment, it just boosts the post to the top of the page and reminds other people that there is a session coming up so we can support the speaker. So that was it. Sorry.
Thank you, Evelyn. And Evelyn knows more about, the social media aspect, the technological aspect of it than I do. I'm just a talent. I just show up, they shove a microphone in my face and words come out. But Evelyn knows stuff. And Evelyn, thank you for all you do. You are a tremendous asset. And by the way, Evelyn has, with that technical knowledge, she's able to help our members here get things set up and expedite some of the complications and confusions that encumber many people. I will say this, because I'm about to bring somebody out here. We'll get Therese unmuted. This is the one person. So Therese does our integrative health on Fridays, typically every Friday. So that's tomorrow. And she's the one person who gives me the title before she goes live. Everybody else, including myself, I have no idea what the title is until I hear it come out of my mouth. Right. And then I sometimes got to run around and ask the facilitator, hey, what was the title of your session? Usually I'll get a response. Otherwise, I'll just make something up. But Therese knows what she's going to talk about before she says it. So I'm like dazzled by that, Therese. What an amazing talent you have. What are we talking about tomorrow, by the way?
Thanks, John. I try my best. I'm so funny. It's like I've got so many talks done. I've got a file full of hundreds and hundreds of things. And every week I redo, not redo, but I'll another thought comes into my mind, and then I'll do the research and development. And then I create 2 or 3 more in the middle of the week. And I totally change my mind from what it was going to be on Monday. So this week tomorrow is going to be on best food choices for memory and brain enhancement. So equaling productivity, equaling mastermind group. So, nutrition and fitness, integrative nutrition, again, is a mindset, just as I think it fits really well. Initially I was worried it didn't fit so well with, with our business mindset group, but, it's just a parallel, right? It's a mindset, and your health. You can't be productive in your business if you're not productive in your health. You're not willing to give time to your health, your overall health, then, so it is kind of the same thing. And I really, I'm delighted to be doing this on Fridays, and thank you for the platform to do it. So that being said, I was a little late today. I apologize. I've got a couple things going on, a couple different Zoom appointments. So I'm just working on really trying to pull my website. I'm working with this web integration person, trying to get everything pulled together. So, we built a Linktree site. So it's going to have a bunch of links to my Amazon products. It's got links to, self-care, recipes, et cetera, programs. So I just wrote all the programs. I'm getting ready to write. I haven't done the course yet, but I'm working on the guide, which will be my giveaway to get people in. So I just wanted to say it out loud because, it's kind of been a long time coming. I started with a totally different company over a month ago. It's almost 2 months ago. And I was really excited to get the work done. And I chose the wrong company. I asked for X, they were giving me Y. They totally kind of manipulated me after I was paying for it. And then they started auto charging me monthly without my approval. And I had to go through this whole bank. I kind of had to unravel things with the bank. And so then I found someone through someone in our group that has been amazing. And so, again, I sort of had to regroup, and I was feeling a little cautious and insecure about moving forward with things. I sort of, that kind of set me back a little. So anyway, I've jumped through a lot of hoops in the last 2 weeks. And so I've been off a little bit from here, only because, I had mentioned sometimes I get a little overwhelmed with everything in front of me. And then I think this is similar to what was going on for me in Blue Sky too. It's like you get so overwhelmed, and it's like you're climbing. Nothing makes sense. And then all of a sudden it's all clear, and it's all right in front of you. And you're wondering why you got so worked up and worried and that nothing made sense, or that you couldn't do it, or, all that funny self-talk. So anyway, things are falling into place. And I still, I still hope to add a Pilates class here. I'm waiting for our upstairs big, what do they call it? A community room. So I'm going to try to get that community room to be able to do Pilates, and perhaps be able to do an intro class, just explaining to everyone the ins and outs of it, and then continue with the mat Pilates. So again, that's why that's on hold. I'm waiting for this COVID thing to lift at our building. So
right.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank you, Therese. And I forgot. What is the topic for tomorrow again?
Oh, it's on brain, brain and memory health. You're gonna
All right,
eat
you got
your
the
walnuts.
joke. You got the joke.
Eat your omegas.
Right.
Good one. Thank you, John.
Good times, everyone. So you see, Therese also has built up a bit of a library here inside the mastermind group of content, right? Which is now developing the, the platform, the voice and everything. And then of course you all get access to that just as members, but now she can create her course and here's the, the full production, so to speak. Working on the same kind of thing with Adrian right now, Adrian, who does our life and business tools. So the point is that we are putting ourselves out there in a micro sense, right here within our little family. All right. But then what does that lead to? Now here comes Nicola with the major course, the release, right? And she's got a Kartra site going and all this. I think she put it in the chat. Once you've got a final product, an actual saleable product, I'm speaking to everyone now. We want those links so that we can participate and put them in our members Facebook group. And I'm remiss because in our resources section of our members site, we've got books and various things. But I want to have like members products, like a whole section of members products in there. So I'm going to have to arrange that and get that running. We are coming up to the top of the hour. Funny Hat Day tomorrow, and bring a joke, bring a dog or cat, bring an animal, something. We're going to have some fun. It's going to be Fun Friday. Today, just a quick reminder, because we didn't eat the right foods yet to remember stuff, we do have we have gentle yoga and relaxation at 3:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, and we do have Global and Tactical Marketing with Mark Riggle at 8 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. And then with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap up. One more thing that should be on the calendar, and I'm just putting it out there in case they're interested, and that would be a JLSM dance class with Cyril. So Cyril, you just let me know when you want to join the rank of facilitators, and we're gonna shake our booties and all that. So I'll see you guys again real soon. Everybody picture that in your mind, and we'll get together later tonight.